Congress could soon vote on a bill that would make sweeping changes to Medicaid.
WGEM Missouri Capitol reporter Hannah Falcon is live in Jefferson City tonight to break down the effects these changes could have on nearly 1.3 million Missourians on Medicaid. Hannah?
Well, today, Daniel, Raja, I spoke with some healthcare providers all across the state. Many of them say that Medicaid is the main form of payment their patients use, and they're concerned that they would lose care if Medicaid is cut back. A bill being debated by Congress would decrease federal Medicaid contributions by $700 billion. Missouri could lose over $500 million for Medicaid patients. Part of the plan would require beneficiaries to have a job. Estimates from several think tanks show that about 90,000 Missourians could lose Medicaid benefits under those new requirements. Some of those are children. Casey Care Health Center serves about 20,000 people, most of them on Medicaid.
The reality is most of our patients aren't just working one job. They're working multiple part-time jobs, trying to string together enough money to make sure they can pay for their medications.
And a vote on this bill is imminent. It could come very soon. Democratic lawmakers from Missouri tell me that they have complete opposition to any cuts to Medicaid, but some Republican lawmakers have said they would be okay with those new working requirements. Reporting live in Jefferson City, I'm Hannah Falcon, WGEM News.